still well-defined rotation. They still believe that this is a rain-wrapped tornado on the ground, and that is between Guthrie and Dickens. It is not a threat to Guthrie. It is not a direct threat to Dickens. By that, I mean, unless it changes direction. And right now, it's basically going to the south. So it looks like it'll stay over open areas. But people that live in this general area, and I'm just giving you a broad rotation indication here along Highway 82, that's where you want to seek shelter. If you're in that area, you want to seek shelter. Now I'm going to go back to the graphic I was trying to get to come up, just to remind those of you, if you haven't been with us for the last, it seems like an hour, I think it may have been, as a matter of fact. You want to make sure, first of all, look towards the middle. You want to go in the underground where it says get down. You want to go underground if possible, if you have a cellar or a basement. If you don't have that, the middle of the home, and we're not talking about a lot of homes have big, beautiful middle rooms, living rooms. We're talking about the middle of the home where there's something with walls around it, bathroom, a closet, a bathroom, hallway, stairwell. That's what we mean. We want walls around you because obviously debris is flying at speeds well over 100 miles an hour if this is as strong a tornado as it appears to be. So you want as much of that protection as you can around you. So that's why I say underground's the most important. Second to that, if you don't have that option, you want to get in the middle of the home if possible. Now, both your bathrooms, you feel more comfortable, they're on outside walls. Just make sure you've got something to cover you. Down at the bottom, you'll see cover up. That means pillows, blankets, coats, bicycle helmets, motorcycle helmets, great to wear. And then mattresses, and we're not talking about queen size, obviously. You know, just something that you can get easy. That's the key. You got to get it easy. And now we are getting towards sunset, and I've been saying this earlier because I know there's going to be power outages there in that general area if the tornado is still on the ground. Or nevertheless, there's been numerous reports of winds over 70 miles an hour, so you're going to lose electricity. Make sure you've got a flashlight or two with you. Make sure you've got portable charging for your phone with you in your shelter area. Now, if you're in the clear, obviously this doesn't apply. I'm speaking to people who are in the area near these storms, this storm complex. The tornado is the #1 concern. Second to that, though, there have been reports of winds over 70 miles an hour. There's been baseball-sized hail indicated and reported earlier. So both those factors are very, very dangerous. So you need to be prepared for that. It's not just the tornado threat. If you go, oh, that tornado's not near me, you still can have some severe weather, the high winds and damage such as that. You don't need to be looking at the windows, looking outside, trying to get video. Please do not be trying to travel up to Motley County or even Dickens County this evening. Leave those roads open for emergency personnel. Leave those roads open so that they can get to help these people. There's probably going to be power loss and such as that. Just similar, I don't know that this is on the scale of Perryton, but I'm just saying the fact is there's going to be some help needed in Matador, in that area of Motley County. So you don't want to be blocking the roads, slowing down transportation getting there. Along 62 to Matador, there's still some rain and heavy rain there between Darty and Matador. And north of Roaring Springs, some hail indicated, but not much. There's some of that hail around Afton. Circulation looks like it's a little harder to find. That may mean that it's decreasing. I'll have to walk over to chat to see if that is true or not. Something new there, Shania?
Yes. Yes, so I just went and talked to our senior photographer, Julio, also one of our managers, and he said that he was in contact with Judge Parrish, county judge here in Lubbock. They talked to the county judge in Matador. There haven't been any confirmed fatalities. They haven't gotten an injury report yet, but no confirmed fatalities as of right now. And Lubbock Fire and Rescue and other Lubbock resources are on their way right now to go and assist.
Oh, that is great. Well, that's great that we're getting the response from here headed that way. But that ties in again the fact we don't want you on the roadway going up there. There's a lot of folks up there. There'll be a lot of folks, our photographers and such, getting video. Hopefully get us a live shot or two maybe before long, depending on travel and stuff. They're obviously going to stay out of the way of emergency personnel so that those folks can get in there. East Afton looks like some hail indicated in that area. Very heavy rainfall, hard to define the rotation area, but I think it's still along Highway 82. Fortunately, east of Dickens, there's some very heavy rain headed for Dickens, but fortunately it's just rain. Rain headed for McAdoo as well, and Guthrie, just rain there. Let me back up just a little bit. Roaring Springs back over to north of Matador and around Doherty, some shower storms there. Quick update, strong thunderstorms south of John Ferris and north of Floydada, and Lockney, just some showers south of you. But that heavy storm looks like with some hail along 207 is likely tracking southeast. So folks in Floydada, you may get some heavy rainfall, gusty winds. I don't see a warning indication on that. There's still a severe thunderstorm warning for Roaring Springs, Matador, and Russellville. Still a tornado warning that includes East Afton, the community of Gilpin, barely. Let me zoom back in on that. That's just simply because earlier this broad track for the tornado was painted because it was tracking southeast, then it went a little more south. It may be going a little more southeast now. I'll put this back into animation. You can see it a little bit better there. And again, there's that storm. You can see where it goes southeast, curves south right now. Looks like it's swinging a little bit more. It may be rebuilding some, or recharging as we might call it, and going a little bit southeast along 82, west of Guthrie there, and that is tracking southeast. Shania?
Yes, so we're looking at one more update, John. This was at 9:11 just right now. Tornado warning, a tornado confirmed. A large and extremely dangerous tornado was located 11 miles east of Dickens, and it's moving southeast at 25 miles per hour.
All right, thank you so much for that. Pardon me, I was grabbing a little drink while Shania was talking there. What's interesting there, what's happening is because of the rain wrap, it's a little difficult to see the actual hook with that, or the storm may be changing a little bit. If you'll notice, there's more of a hook indicated near Dickens at this point. That doesn't mean it's a threat to Dickens. Dickens is not in the tornado warning, but that's what the Weather Service would be watching very closely. There's some large hail in there. Looks like it's between Dickens and Guthrie and north of Highway 82. Storm in general is going southeast. It has varied some, gone a little bit to the south. At this point, it looks like north of Girard, that's where the tornado warning is still not in effect, unless something new there, Shania.
Yes, that's what I was just about to say. So new tornado warning for Caudle, Dickens, and King as of 9/11, or at 9:10 they actually sent that one out. So now Caudle, Dickens, and King are also in that warning.
All right, that's, well, this is a very intense and large thunderstorm, as you can see there, Shania. Thank you very much for that update. Appreciate that. And let's see, I do want to mention right quick, while we wait for our computer to update with that new indication, there is a tornado watch. It extends from Interstate 40 in Amarillo all the way down to Crosby County, down to Kent County, back over around Aspermont. It does include Guthrie and Paducah. Obviously, it includes the Dickens area and did include Matador earlier. So I just wanted to give you a quick look at that for those of you who wonder what's going on. Plainview is not included, and Lubbock is not included. All right, so it looks like according to Pete Christie, and he has helped us a lot with a couple of reports this evening, Pete and his contacts, community of Afton is sheltering at Patton Springs High School. So that is great news there. Once again, that they're sheltering together. Right now, the storm is not a threat, but it seems to be changing a little bit. So that means it may be shifting where the rotation is. And I'm going to expand this view out. Sorry, I've got a few old views of the tornado stuff here, as you can see. Let me save that a little bit. All right, now I can, I'm going to go down to one without the lightning. That'll make it a little easier for y'all to see where things are located. And again, now you can see the tornado warning. Again, that general area is still northern areas of Dickens County, reaching all the way down to the tip of Dickens County, right along the county line there. You run into Kent County, and then you can see the storm moving into Guthrie. Now, this storm could shift a little bit more southeast, which it's doing, or even track east. Many times these storms, if they become tornadic, they may be going northeast originally. They become what we call a right mover, meaning they go east, and then they shift a little bit southeast. This storm even shifted to the south. Now it's shifting back to the southeast. So again, folks in Guthrie, it didn't look like you were in a threat, and you're still out of the warning, but in that area just west of Guthrie and east of Dickens and down to Highway 70, that's the area where there still can be some danger. Something new?
We actually just got some video, if I can show the viewers the video that we just got in. It's just about a minute. Wellington Moore from Matador. Oh, is this our Amarillo? I think this is still our KFDA live shot as of right now. Still showing lots of debris still from this same storm. The video that we wanted to take, though, is actually from a viewer. This is going to be our KFDA, our sister station in Amarillo. This is live footage of what they're seeing as of right now. They have their vehicle, the camera on their vehicle facing just some damage. Can't even really tell what that used to be. Looks like a possible structure, I'm assuming. Some trees in the background. Okay, I think we're about to get the video up right now. So once that video starts playing, it came from Wellington Moore in Matador. This is still that live shot footage, waiting for that video to come. See lots of rescue teams out there. This is live footage as of right now. This is not the video. Like I said, from our sister station, KFDA in Amarillo. They were out on the Matador storm earlier, and then when things got hectic, they did retreat, the safe thing to do, and then they made their way back once things started to clear up. So here is live footage right now of what our sister station is seeing in Amarillo. Now, I think we are, like I said, as you can see, all the flashing lights, lots of rescue teams out there trying to pick up debris, trying to, help the people out there that didn't evacuate in time, trying to make sure they can clear up the road so things are drivable. It's still raining. You can very faintly see it on the ground in the reflection of the flashing lights, but it's still raining out there. It's not like they're in clear skies or anything like that. It looks super dark out there as well. Obviously, sun is starting to set, so things are starting to get dark anyways, but still just looking at a lot of devastation overall. Structures torn down, wires, telephone wires, all of those poles torn down as well. Earlier, we did see some footage of some cars just completely smashed. Like I said, as of right now, this is that live footage from KFDA. They are still in Matador. From what I know, they were... Okay, so this is the video that I was leading to. This is from Wellington Moore in Matador. So just showing a lot of rainfall overall. Can kind of see, if you look closely on the ground, they had a little bit of hail as well. This is all of that debris. I'm assuming that this is the aftermath of when that tornado came through the area. Once again, this is in Matador. Just seeing all types of debris all over the place. The roads still looking vacant, which is better than having a lot of cars out, of course. Overall, though, still just seeing the damage that this tornado caused. And, this is just why it is so important to make sure that you are taking those safety precautions. All of that debris just all over the place. These fields aren't meant to have all of these extra things in the field. Just things are just all over the place. Fences torn down, wires torn down. No service also is a big thing when these tornadoes come through. These people, there's no contact also out there. So going back to the radar as of right now, still looking at just that rotation. John, can you play the radar? Is the radar just on the now mode as of right now?
Yeah, I'm going to close it. I do want to do an update there. I want to mention that Peyton and Josh are on their way, or getting very close.
Yes, so Peyton and Josh are photographers. Josh Ramirez are on the way to Matador right now. They're also going to get one of our chasers, Josh Hoosh, who was out there chasing earlier. He did run into a little bit of trouble. He's okay, he's safe, but they are going to get him as of right now. They should be back fairly soon. Looks like most of the rotation on this system has stopped as of right now.
Here, should I?
Okay, and John has an update. I'm not sure if John's mic is up.
Okay, I hope so. Yeah, 916, confirmed tornado located 11 miles east of Dickens and moving southeast at 25. Travelers, as I've mentioned, avoid Highway 82 between Dickens and Guthrie. This is, again, a very dangerous thunderstorm as it tracks on to the southeast. So we continue to monitor this system very, very closely. So, again, we're watching. We appreciate all the support we've gotten from KFDA. And, again, this storm could become a threat to Girard. Right now, they end that warning southern Dickens County and the western areas of Cottle County, but really it is literally between Guthrie and Dickens as it moves through that area. And so, again, you can see what is taking place. And for those of you down in that region, say Girard or southeast of Guthrie and really southeast of Dickens. Be aware. Again, you can see the rotation with that hook associated with that storm system. And again, that is west of Guthrie and east of Dickens. There is some large hail indicated. That's about southeast of Afton at this point. So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit, but I'll also put a tracker on this so that you can get an idea. I know a lot of folks farming and ranching down in that region. I'm going to pause this for a second, and you can see what is taking place. I'll give you an arrow indicating the movement of that storm here, and to the most south and southeast. And this is just a general guide here as it goes on down, and that's going to take it down close to Kent County and then also down towards the Aspermont area. So right now we have the storm around Guthrie. We have some large hail just west of Guthrie and northeast of Dickens. Still have a confirmed tornado according to the National Weather Service here on Lubbock. And their coverage area extends down into Kent County and over into the Aspermont area as well. So they'll be tracking that storm continually through that region. Large hail, though, northeast and east of Dickens along Highway 82. Between Guthrie and Dickens. It could be rain wrapped, as I've described several times during the evening hours. That means that although you normally could see the funnel is there. There's so much moisture that's abundant with these storms when they become a supercell, that moisture is being wrapped around, so you may not necessarily see a true funnel, but Doppler radar picks up that movement of the raindrops. That's why Doppler radar is so key to severe weather detections. The fact it can follow the movement of that rain. And again, that storm in the eastern areas of Dickens County, moving generally southeast at about 25 to 30 miles an hour. And that is west of Guthrie and east of Dickens on Highway 82, just east of 70 and west of 83 for all of those that live down in that region, east of Spur, north of Girard. So southeastward movement on this storm at this time. It has changed direction a couple of times. It went to the south. It originally started out maybe moving a little more southeast. Now it appears to be going southeast, and speed has varied some between 20 to even at one point up to 30 to 35 miles an hour. So generally track information we're giving here is what we get from the National Weather Service through their chat line. So we definitely know they've been tracking this storm very, very closely. You get in that area, begin to get off the Caprock. It's a little more difficult for people to get to these storms and to get to video because there's just not enough roadways in that region. I do want to remind you to not travel that way. Let the emergency personnel and the news folks that are down in that area will be getting video and stuff, but these are people trained and they know how to work with each other. Just wait. Do not be going to try to see what's going on. It's coming up on dark. Those people need to be able to get the shelter and get the protection they need down in that region. The storm, not a threat to McAdoo. I know there's a lot of lightning and thunder going on. A couple other storms. There is a thunderstorm warning. I'll just zoom on this one right quick because I know folks in Floyd County are probably a little nervous there, but intense thunderstorm northeast of Floydada and another moderate thunderstorm between Floydada and Barwise south of Lockney. Looks like there could be some very large hail with this storm. That's out in the open areas around Floydada, and I'll put that in an animation, then you can tell exactly where that storm is tracking. Give my computer time here to get going, and let me go back one here and see if this will do it here. There we go. That's tracking, and see if I can get this one to cooperate and track as well. These storms have been generally moving southeast, changing occasionally to the south as I zoom in and zoom out on this thing, and we can give you an idea of what's going on. Now, overall, there's your severe thunderstorm moving away from Floydada, but that is headed towards Doherty. And notice that storm along that region. So for folks in Doherty, that is not a tornadic storm, severe thunderstorm, maybe some large hail headed your way, maybe some winds of 60 to 70 miles an hour. Other storms around Matador, and I do want to remind folks, again, the circulation with that storm is still dangerous. There's Shania, some new stuff on chat?
Yes, so I did just real quickly, we are looking at a message from one of our employees at the National Weather Service. New rotation strengthening with a confirmed tornado that's now just 7 miles east of Dickens. This may be the new dominant circulation. So it looks like this storm may be starting to take over and become the more strengthening storm. At 9:23, a confirmed tornado was located 13 miles of Girard, which is what you mentioned earlier, John, wondering if that storm was going to make it towards them. Right now it's 13 miles north of them, 14 miles east of Dickens, and it's moving quickly, moving south at 35 miles per hour. A second confirmed tornado was located 5 miles southeast of Dickens in rural Dickens County.
That's interesting because looking at our Doppler radar, you can actually see dual rotations taking place there again with this storm, and it's probably cycling through, and so the newer stronger tornado may end up being the one that's to the west a little bit closer to Dickens. But for folks in Dickens, I know you've got some very heavy rainfall. Initially, we thought you were into clear, and you're still not technically in the tornado warning. Just remain alert. Hopefully the movement of that storm going southeast is still going to take it away from you. It's just recycling and cycling up again, and so we'll see if it continues to maintain two areas of strong rotation in it, meaning there could be two tornadoes. And again, you'll have multiple vortices, as they saw with the storm in Perryton, that will come down. It may not be the major one, but you can have some multiple vortices with these storms until the dominant one continues to be the one that's a primary factor with the storm. So this storm tracking southeast, it looks like it may be going a little more south. So still want to mention that, Girard, you're not in a tornado warning. However, as I draw this arrow, you'll be able to see again the general movement on this storm is taking it relatively close to you, especially if it ends up with that tornado a little more to the west of the first tornado. So again, folks in Girard, just be prepared to take shelter. And I know I haven't shown shelter reminders, but I will do that right quick. But it's easy to remember. You want to get outside. If you have a outdoor protection there where you can get in a shelter, that is great. A cellar would be terrific. A basement would be terrific. If you don't have those options, then you got to think about the middle part of the home. I'm not talking about the living room, I'm talking about the hallways, maybe the areas such as a bathroom or a closet, anything like that. That way you'll get protection. In addition to that, you want to make sure you cover up with pillows, blankets, coats, helmets, bicycle and motorcycle helmets, mattresses. Don't worry about moving a giant mattress. That takes too much time. Make sure you can get something small. And if you just get something to cover you, even if you're in a bathroom with a window, you'll be better shape than being in a living room or an area such as a bedroom or even a garage. Those are not good places. If you live in an apartment complex or a multi-story home, you do not want to be on the second or third floors of any building. You want to be down on the main floor, and you want to be in the smallest room you can find that has multiple walls around it. So obviously, if you've got a family, you want to get in a room that you can all get in together, shelter down, take your phone with you, take a flashlight. If you can grab portable charging for your phone and such, do that. But again, this is a dangerous storm. It is still active. It still has the potential to cause damage in areas, whether it's out in the open areas, farms and ranches, or if it's closer to these communities. Right now, it's a little closer to Dickens, but again, it appears to be gradually tracking away from Dickens, but it is still very close to the community of Dickens. So folks in Dickens, you need to remain alert at this particular time. The storm still quite dangerous in that region overall. Let me zoom back out here and give you the overall view. And again, we have the tornado warning in effect. Tornado west of Guthrie, just east of Dickens, down in the southeastern corner of Dickens County. Tracking generally southeast, Doppler radar indicating that, and I've just got a still view for you here, but I'm going to go back to some animations to give you a closer view. I'm going to bring this down. Earlier I had a view of the Turkey area, and when severe thunderstorm still, I'll zoom back in. I know we have viewers in Doherty. You still have a severe thunderstorm coming your way, likely with some large hail and high winds, very heavy rainfall. Other scattered thunderstorms, McAdoo, East Afton, the core we're really concerned with, and again, the Weather Service has just decreased that core coverage area. Still does not have Dickens in it, just east of Dickens, probably by about 6 miles or 7. Then it extends to the east. It does not have Guthrie in it. It has the open areas there north of Girard along Highway 70, and it does include a long stretch of Highway 82 there between Dickens and Girard. That entire complex is going southeast. It appears it may have slowed down just a little bit there. Anything new there, Shania? I know you're on the chat.
No. Sorry. Okay, sorry, they were getting my microphone in. Not really anything new. That tornado that I was talking about is a little bit closer now. It's 12 miles northeast of Girard or 16 miles southeast of Dickens. It has actually slowed down, so a little bit of good news. It's still moving south, but just at about 25 miles per hour instead of earlier when it said 35 miles per hour. But then that second tornadic circulation is located 6 miles east-southeast of Dickens. So earlier they called it a tornado. So now that they're saying tornadic circulation, John, can you kind of explain that difference? Does that mean it's no longer on the ground anymore?
And it may mean that they just can't confirm that it's on the ground, but it still has strong rotation and is kind of cycling through again. It may become, very intense as a major tornado, but generally that means it has general overall circulation within that storm, can produce a tornado very rapidly, as they found out in Perryton. So that's why you've got to stay in the tornado warning mode and be ready to seek shelter as necessary. So again, they'll continue to call it a confirmed tornado when it's on the ground the last time they saw it. Right now, they're being cautious and saying the circulation with it. So we're not sure, though, if it's rain wrapped. Makes it very difficult to see a tornado. Radar can obviously pick up the movement and the overall movement of the raindrops and stuff within that thunderstorm. But again, it's always best to have some eyes there to see where the tornado is on the ground and whether or not there may be two tornadoes there, maybe two weaker ones or one that's cycling up to take and let the other one dissipate. We'll see what happens. I did put a tracker, as you can see on the radar there, so you can see a general southeastward movement of that storm, and that would put it in the Jayton area. And we are, 9:31, so that would put it in there at about 10:15 or so if it stays on this track and if it stays on this speed. But maybe the storm system is decreasing a little bit, although it's cycling. We'll just have to simply wait and see. But I just want to, as I mentioned earlier, I want folks in Jayton to just be alert, not panic. Just be prepared. Just watch us. Keep your phone app with you and the KCBD weather app so that you can keep up to date with what's going on. And again, if you're watching us, that is great, or streaming us, either way you're getting us, we hope you'll stay with us. Just be prepared. Take note of those items that you would need. Make sure you've got a flashlight. Make sure that you've got backup batteries for your phone and stuff so that you can charge those items. Electrical loss is very likely with some communities now, such as in Matador. Maybe those farm-to-market areas, out on farm market roads, those farms and ranches, there may be some power outages there. So you want to make sure before it gets dark that you've got access to flashlights, that you've got access to batteries to charge your phone. The storm should not last all night, obviously, but it could hold together with the heat we've had today and the instability. The storm could still be going easily, I would say anywhere from another 30 minutes to an hour. It may not be tornadic, and we hope that it's not tornadic by then, but that still takes it down into Kent County and towards the areas around Jayton and Claremont in particular. So that's why I wanted to do a tracker on that. I'm going to take that off of there. Let me go back to the animation so we can see what's going on. You see the movement of that storm there. Still some overall circulation and rotation with that. Let me resave this so it'll continue to animate. There we go. I've been jumping around with so many images there. You can see that storm tracking down, headed almost up to Highway 70. And the tornado warning at this point goes to the extreme southern tip of Dickens County and northern areas of Kent County. And then just to follow it over, it is west of Highway 83. Let me check here and let's see what's going on. We've got contact. I know Colin's checking in to see how things are going at this point, and keeping an eye on this storm system as well. And he and Steve will be in the morning to update things to let you know what's going on as far as overall coverage on this storm. So we're watching this very dangerous thunderstorm still making its way through our region. We had video earlier from some of our viewers. If you have viewer video, just put that in on the Facebook page. You can also send that to kcbd.com/firstalert. If you have trouble getting that video in that way, you can always send it to my email, Shania's email, and even Brittany out in the studio here. You can send the email to her. As long as we can get to the video, that's the primary concern. And our chief photojournalist here, Julio Iglesias, can also take that. But if you have an issue getting it any other way, just send it to john.robinson@Gray TV. So we appreciate that. And that applies to Shania and Brittany as well. We'd love to have that video and show. Right now, we're just worried about this current storm. I'm going to step back over to my other monitors and in the studio and take a look at what chat is saying at this point, and text a quick note to Colin for 1 second there. And let's see. Chasers as of 9:33. Now, this is unconfirmed, but one of the storm chasers, say that the damage in Matador appears to be about 1/4 of a mile. I don't know if that means in width or total damage area. So that's what we've got unofficially. The latest as of right now just came up on the screen that I'm looking at. Observed hail close to 3 inches in diameter, potentially in Dickens County and in western King County at 9:34. Still a confirmed tornado located 10 miles northeast of Girard, and that makes it 16 miles north of Jayton. And once again, I do see, looking at the radar image, a little more of a hook. It may be becoming a little more well-defined, maybe we're coming back to one tornado again as it recycles through that or cycles up again. So it's north of Jayton, moving south at 25. Organization overall may be decreasing somewhat in the last 10 minutes, but the threat of the tornado remains. So they're still saying a confirmed tornado northeast of Girard. If you're looking at radar there, you can see that slight hook just northeast of Girard. If I zoom that in just a little bit, you'll notice that system right there. And there's Girard moving down into Kent County. There'll probably be a tornado warning coming out for that unless the storm does become a little less organized. That would be very good news if that would take place. Anything new there, Shania? I know you're sitting right beside me. We're both at the computers in the forecast center right now. So
yes, so I do know that very quickly or probably within the next, hopefully 15 minutes, we'll have Josh Ramirez and Peyton Toops. They made their way to Matador. They're almost there so far. They have made it safely to where they are, so they'll hopefully be able to give us a live look of kind of everything that's going on in Matador and what they're seeing out there as of right now.
All right, that's some good news. We can look forward to that, and hopefully no reports of any fatalities. That'll be great news if that's a current situation, and hopefully it will not be very many injuries or anything such as that, or damage as well. I'm just giving you a wide view. I'm still sitting back here in the forecast office. Severe thunderstorm in the Doherty area. I know a lot of folks are probably nervous. There's no other tornadic type storms. The rest of them may be severe, particularly the one near Doherty. There still could be some large hail. It doesn't look like the quantity is there as there was earlier. That is moving into Doherty right now, and that's along Highway 62. Some of that rain, unfortunately, is going to clip the Matador area, and it looks like there's some more heavy rain and maybe some hail headed for Roaring Springs. Russellville, a little bit of a break right now. We look upstream or north. Unfortunately, there's nothing else around Turkey or Silverton. They had severe thunderstorms earlier. This storm complex still moving southeast, and this is a strong enough complex. You see a lot of outflow boundaries. Notice that coming through Lubbock. The dry line was pushed back through another outflow boundary. That's going to lead to cooler temperatures tomorrow. We mentioned
There's also
a new tornado warning coming for the cell near Girard. So let me zoom in on that and see. Yep, it looks like it's still going to be a danger there in that general area. I'll try to give you guys a circulation, and don't see a speed on that, maybe earlier, but 25 miles an hour.
Yes.
Yeah, 20 to 25, but that's not key. The main thing is you need to be seeking shelter. Once again, I'll remind you of that. I do want to show you that you're within that area where the circulation may impact you very shortly, so you need to be taking action immediately. So that means, remember, go to a basement, a closet, hallway. Don't stay out in the living rooms. Don't stay around windows. Grab the phone, grab a flashlight, grab something to cover up with. You want to get into the basements and cellars if you have them. If you don't have that, you want to get towards the middle of the house. You want more walls around you if possible. You want to be in a closet. You want to be in a bathroom. Even if it has a window, a bathroom is still safer if it's towards the middle of the house. If it's on the outside of the house, you may be better off getting in a closet. So again, take shelter. I know you're probably not looking at the television. You always turn up the volume, but that storm is apparently very dangerously close to Girard. We're kind of waiting here tonight, Shania and I both, looking at chat to see if they give us something new. They do say thunderstorm reported wind of 64 miles an hour, and that was about 8 o'clock, so that's a long time ago, but they did have strong winds in the Turkey area. Let's see, thunderstorm warning now for Dickens and Motley County. That's because of the tornado warning shifting a little bit further south, but it's still thunderstorms that are severe up in the Motley and Dickens area, and it's probably going to be the wind is what it's indicated here, 60 miles an hour, maybe some 1 to 2 inch size hail, so very dangerous from that standpoint. And I don't know, Shania, you said we'd have a crew up there. You thought maybe in the next 15 minutes or so?
Hopefully. The last time I talked to Josh, he said they hadn't just made it there yet, so I'm not sure if we're going to have that in the 9 o'clock hour, but once we at 10 o'clock, once we go back to KCBD, we should hopefully have something from them. But yes, we do have Josh, our anchor and reporter Joshua Ramirez is on his way there, and then also our photographer Peyton Toops is on his way there as well.
All right, that's cool. And we do appreciate folks that are contacting Pete. I know he has a widespread network here on the South Plains, so if you have anything you can pass along to Pete, because I know it's difficult to get through to Shania and me right now because we're here in the Forecast Center radar and chat and stuff. And somebody's asking a general question. Let's see here. McAdoo had a gust of 65, and that was at 9:15, so that's still some time back. Let's see.
And then we just got another update. This is from Aaron Davis at UMC. Right now, they're not activating the bus to go and help in Matador. They're waiting to see if they're actually going to be receiving patients. So that's actually the good news. They were activating the bus. That would immediately mean that they were needing to go and rescue a lot of people. So it's good news that UMC is not activating the bus, but they will update us as soon as they have more information on that. But that is a little bit of good news as far as, injuries and fatalities go. It doesn't look like they're going through that part of the damage as of right now.
Oh, definitely. And that was Brittany that just brought the phone in for you. So we thank her for coming over. And she's out here. As soon as there's any new video or anything, she'll probably be able to jump in and do that. Latest at 9:41, Weather Service saying severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located 9 miles northeast of Girard. We've been saying that, and 14 miles north of Jayton, moving southeast at 25, and it's the storm that has produced several confirmed tornadoes. And I think something else from Brittany there, or just a general update?
So yes, just another update. Aaron Davis at UMC, the one we got the information from before, they actually are now activating the bus. So that does mean that that may have some possible injuries, but here Lubbock UMC is going to help and assist them as of right now. They're activating the AM bus right now.
Ooh, that's great information there. Unfortunately, if they have to do that, but at least they're doing that.
Right.
And you can see the rotation here. I'm going to pause this radar here in a second. I want to zoom out a little bit more. But this storm is bearing down on Jayton. I think it was about 30 minutes ago when I was talking about the fact that the track of the storm could impact Jayton. So unfortunately, that looks like that's what's happening at this point. Storm may have a tornado. It may be rain wrapped, meaning very difficult to see. So once again, you want to seek those shelter areas. Basement and the cellar obviously are the best place to be if you're trying to drive away, but you should not do that. But if you're doing it, you've got to leave now. But I advise you to not do that. Be sure that you go to your cellar or your basement or your hallway or your bathroom. Get your phone, turn up the volume on the television, get out of the open areas, living rooms, bedrooms, such. Bathrooms are great, especially if they're in the middle part of the home. Also, closets are very good. the more walls you have around you, the better chance of you have a void of the debris. Obviously, tornadoes are going to create a lot of debris, flying glass, wood, etc., such as that. And that's what you want to avoid and be protected from. That's why we mentioned the helmets. That's why we mentioned closets. And I also want to mention flashlights, a way to charge your phone. Take your phone with you. Don't be trying to get video or anything at this point that you can beat the tornado. There's no guarantees of that at all. The way they can try to change direction or develop very rapidly. So again, and I want to mention, looks like northwest of McAdoo. Let's see, that storm report was at 9:15, but it just came in, so that's not worth checking at this point. Strong winds there, but again, tornado warning, storm headed for the community of Jayton. So folks in the Jayton area, you need to be seeking shelter immediately at this point. So I come back over here out of the forecast center. I'm going to zoom in a little bit on radar. Fortunately, we can control the radar back in the forecast center as well as out here at the weather pod in the studio. And you can see, looks like a little rotation there. I don't see the typical hook, but I do see overall storm rotation. So that indicates that the storm could be producing or easily can produce a tornado. So that's why there's tornado warning still in effect. And folks in Girard, I hope that you're in your safe place and that you just stay there. Wait till the danger passes. You've got the potential of a tornado near you, but it looks like it's more east of you. Then you have some heavy rain and you probably have some hail still coming your way. So just stay in your safe area. For folks in Jayton, once again, we want you to be seeking shelter immediately. And once again, I saw the community of Peacock, by the way, east of Jayton. That's back over to the east of the community of Jayton, extending over north of Aspermont. And folks in Aspermont, now's the time just to think about the fact that if the storm continues to track as it does, you may be needing to seek shelter as well. So now's the time you need to be making preparations for that, getting what you might need if you need to go into a hallway, a closet, a bathroom. This gives you plenty of warning time to get prepared for that. So that's the advantage of having a broad tornado warning like that, so that you can go ahead and get ready if you need to do that. And for folks in Jayton, just a quick reminder, and I do that because I want you to get in a safe place and stay there. If you're trying to hear information, just take your phone app, KCBD weather app. You can see the radar on that, at least as long as we have cell power and you have electrical power there. You need the flashlight in case you do lose electrical power. It is starting to get dark outside, and you want to make sure you've got some way to have batteries to charge up the phone and stuff. So that is a key issue as well. So if you're in the Jayton community, you need to be seeking shelter at this time. So once again, this storm is tracking south to southeast. We're averaging 20 to 25 miles an hour. That's not so critical. It just gives us a little bit of a tracking tool so we can say, okay, within this set amount of time, the storm could be at this location. Let me give you a tracking cone of where it appears the general circulation is, where there may be a tornado there, and I'll just bring it down, and you can see if it's traveling 18 miles an hour, it's going to be there by 10:30, but likely you're going to have rain before then. So again, you've got a little time, but you don't have time to not get ready. You've got to get ready at this point. Overall, there's nothing in the way of activity going on from Plainview or Lubbock, Littlefield. Everything's going on really is just south of Matador and in the area between Guthrie and Dickens and north of Jayton, with the storm tracking south. It is still west of the Aspermont area, continues on a south or southeastward movement. And another update there, Shania, I'm just looking back towards you in the chat line since I'm out of the forecast office.
Yes, just a very quick update. The West Spur Mesonet reported wind gusts up to 84 miles per hour. So that storm is slowly but surely making its way into Dickens County, and also they're starting to feel those super strong wind gusts. I actually just got a text message from my mom, who texted me and asked if she needed to take cover because it's really windy for us here in Lubbock. So that's mainly coming from that outflow boundary from those storms, bringing a lot of gusty conditions to us here in Lubbock. Current wind speeds in Plainview right now at 27 miles per hour, 24 miles per hour in Tulia right now, 23 in Floydada, 23 in Rawls as well. Here in Lubbock, just about 15 miles per hour, but seeing gusts up to 35, some places up to 40, 50 miles per hour. And like I said, that Spur Mesonet was reporting wind gusts of 84 miles per hour as of right now. So if you're here in Lubbock, you probably are hearing those super strong winds outside, maybe even seeing a little bit of lightning, a few lightning strikes here and there. I'm looking on our 98th and University Tower cam, and I can actually see some lightning strikes off in the distance. But if you're here in Lubbock, I'm sure you're starting to feel those super strong wind gusts as of right now. Don't be alarmed. We're not looking at any tornadoes or anything like that for us here in Lubbock right now, just mainly getting wind gusts from the outflow boundary of those storms that we're covering as of right now. John, do you have anything over there?
No, but we are looking at the radar right here. Still shows circulation maybe a little bit more east of where it was at this point, with some large hail associated with that. But the leading edge of the rain moving into Jayton, but that still is not where the tornado is necessarily located. We'll have to depend on radar on that. And again, the kind of hilly area over there does affect that a little bit. So they've got the Weather Service have people on the ground spotting that. So again, it's been interesting night here. This storm very dangerous, producing a tornado that hit Matador. Unofficial estimates, maybe a quarter-mile damage area. Now, that's not official in any shape, form, or fashion. I think that was just an estimate based on a storm chaser up in that area. But we have seen video. We've seen video and live footage from KFDA that is out of Amarillo. We certainly appreciate them down here following this storm and tracking. We've had our guys up there tracking. We have Josh Hoos was up there and had a little difficulty for a while, but he is in good shape and safe at this point. We appreciate his efforts. He was giving us video all the way up till, I think, about 8:30 or so. So again, quite a bit going on overall with this particular storm as it goes in that area.
And we just got an update right now, John. So a severe thunderstorm warning issued for Crosby, Dickens, Garza, and Kent County until 10:45. Right after that, that tornado warning is continuing for Dickens, Kent, King, and Stonewall until 10:30, and then they're just saying that that severe thunderstorm that they're watching as of right now is capable of producing a tornado. It's located 8 miles east of Girard, 10 miles north of Jayton right now, and it's moving southeast at 25 miles per hour. In addition to the tornado threat near the four corners of Kent, Dickens, King, and Stonewall counties, some areas along Highway 70 between Spur and Jayton will experience wind speeds likely to exceed 70 miles per hour. So looking at strong winds, they said along with the areas near the four corners of Kent, Dickens, King, and Stonewall, areas along Highway 70 between Spur and Jayton may start experiencing wind speeds likely to exceed 70 miles per hour. They just sent out that tornado warning and that severe thunderstorm warning.
Wow, it's interesting there, but yes, you're right. Your mom calling in, because you can notice the winds have been quite gusty. Those are outflow winds, and they'll cool us down tomorrow. That's the one benefit, but that may be it as far as these storms tonight because of the large hail and the tornado damage. But you can see the new triangular or polygon there just east of Post and along 380 back over to west of Jayton and back up along Highway 82. Thunderstorm warning. Western areas there of Dickens County. Tornado warnings are the key from the Jayton area on. And, oh yeah, thank you, Brittany. And I'll let you set that up. You can start it live. Brittany's helping us out here. I don't know why I didn't think of this now, but we're going to put Shania and I will be on live on Facebook here in a second, at least on my Facebook. I don't know if KCBD will pick that up or not. Maybe so, but in case you want to see what it's like when we're working back here, and you'll have to pardon the mess because I was right in the middle of dinner. You may see it in the background there. If it shows me up and also Shania back there in the back. Obviously, this is still serious, but we thought you might like to see what's going on back here. We have an intense, severe thunderstorm with some rotation headed for the Jayton community. We also have a very intense, severe thunderstorm headed for Spur. You may recall Shania was talking about that secondary storm along Highway, looks like 82. And by the way, these storms are not a threat to Rawls or Crosbyton or Lubbock. There's some storms earlier at Floyd 8. I believe they're clear of that area. Our main focus is really this large thunderstorm complex. It's about to be a combination of 2 storms, or 3 really. It is south of Guthrie. It is south of Dickens. It has Spur. The tornadic part is east of Spur. The strong winds and maybe hail are just coming into the Spur area. The tornadic part coming into Jayton, and as you look at radar, I'll expand that out, and then I'm going to switch over a graphic here so I can show you again the tornado safety rules. This is in general as you look at this information coming up here. The thing to remember, towards the middle, I mentioned it first, really underground is best. If you've got a cellar or a basement, if you don't have that option, the middle part of the home, it doesn't mean the big living room area, it means generally the middle part of the home where you can find a bathroom, a closet, something of that nature, and even a stairwell, and get under that. And then as you do that, you'll be able to gather your family together or whatever. Try to keep together, try to stay away from windows, don't be looking outside. And as you do that, you can put on cover with pillows and blankets and, oh, thank you there, Shania, and helmets, bicycle and motorcycle helmets, and mattresses, small mattresses. I'm talking about obviously folks in and around the community of Jayton. Let's see, we got earlier from Pete Christie's, had a couple of reports there. Community of Afton is sheltering at Patton Springs. They may be not doing that any longer. Let's see here. We want to, okay, stay with us on KCBD. We know folks on Fox 34, we're no longer on there. We've come back to KCBD, so we're going to stay on KCBD Channel 11 now. We were on both stations, Fox and 34, and we appreciate, is that your phone or is that Brittany's?
It's mine.
There's 2 of them floating around here. Anyway, you can see, and make sure you can see Shania too back there. She's working the chat area, we call it, and I think she's in the vision there. You know, the red shirt, or red blouse there, I should say, red dress. I'll get it right. As long as I'm getting the weather right, that's all that matters. There is a tornado watch currently in effect, by the way, till 11 o'clock. And that extends really from the Panhandle, which doesn't have activity now, but it does extend from the areas of Floyd to Crosby to Dickens County, where the warnings are in effect, Guthrie down to Jayton and Childress.